Okay, so generative AI is here, and it is completely rewriting the rules of business, and it's happening in real time. We're not just talking about a minor software update here. We're talking about a fundamental, ground-up transformation. So, if you want to win, you can't just play by the old rules. You need an entirely new playbook.
You know, this quote from Reid Hoffman just absolutely nails it. Think about the Industrial Revolution for a second. The steam engine didn't just make things a little bit faster. It completely reshaped society, it created brand new industries, and it totally redefined what was even possible. That's the kind of scale we're talking about with AI. It's a tool for the mind, boosting our ability to think, to create, and to solve problems like never before.
So it makes sense, right? If the game has changed this dramatically, your strategy has to change with it. The old ways of thinking about tech, about talent, even about creativity, they're becoming obsolete. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to walk through the 3 new rules you absolutely need to understand to lead in this new age.
First up, and this one might actually surprise you, the key to winning with AI. It has less to do with the technology itself and everything to do with your people. It's a people before tech world now.
I mean, just look at this slide. It completely flips the script on who you think is using this technology. A staggering 88% of employees using Gen AI are in non-technical roles. We're talking about your managers, your salespeople, HR pros, creatives. This is not a tool for a handful of data scientists. It's a tool for pretty much the entire organization.
But here's the catch. Here is the critical warning sign. 51%. Get this. That's the percentage of your most active Gen AI users, the creators, the heavy adopters, who say they are planning to leave their jobs in the next 3 to 6 months. Think about that. You're at risk of losing the very people who are pioneering the future of your company. So, what's the solution? And look, it's not about just throwing more money at them. It's about fundamentally redesigning their jobs. See, when people see how AI can just wipe out all the tedious work, they want to spend their time on more strategic, more creative, and more, well, uniquely human tasks. And if their job doesn't evolve, they will find one that does. Simple as that.
And this is a perfect example of that transformation. Take this real-world communication specialist. She used to spend 60% of her time just synthesizing executive interviews, a task that could take weeks. Now, with Gen AI, that same task takes up only 10% of her time. That freed up half her work week for higher-value stuff like strategic messaging and actually building relationships.
So this brings us to the core question that leaders really need to be asking. It's not what tasks can we automate. The real question is, how can we reimagine jobs to be more human-centric? How do we design roles that use AI to free up our people to do what they do best, to create, to connect, and to think critically?
All right, on to rule number 2. This is all about a massive shift in how you get and manage technology. The old model, just buying from a vendor, yeah, that's over. The future is all about building collaborative ecosystems.
Look, building powerful Gen AI solutions is not a solo sport. You can't do it alone. No single provider has all the answers. Success means weaving together a really complex network of partners for the models, the data, the infrastructure, the applications. It looks less like a simple supply chain and a whole lot more like a dynamic, living ecosystem. And this shift requires a whole new mindset. The old way involved these transactional relationships with vendors, where you'd pay for usage and keep your intellectual property under lock and key. The new way? It's built on true partnerships, with contracts that are structured around business outcomes and a real willingness to share IP to co-create value together.
So, as you build this ecosystem, there are 3 non-negotiable principles for choosing your partners. First, scalability. Your solution has to be able to handle massive growth without breaking. Second, interoperability. This is so crucial. It means your partner's tools have to connect seamlessly with all your other systems. Think of them like Lego bricks that all just fit together perfectly. And third, reusability. You want components you can use again and again, which, let's be honest, slashes your development time.
Okay, rule number 3, our final rule. This one is all about the absolutely astonishing impact Gen AI is having on innovation and design. It's not just some efficiency tool. It is a creative accelerant that is supercharging the entire product design lifecycle. Just look at this. On the left, you've got a traditional car interior. On the right, a high-fidelity concept for a next-gen electric vehicle, created with Gen AI. I mean, the leap in imagination, the materials, the form, it's just breathtaking, right?
This is the kind of creative exploration that's now possible at speeds we've never seen before. And get this, here's the number that really puts it all into perspective. Automotive designers created 25 distinct variations of a new dashboard concept in just 2 hours, a process that, without Gen AI, would have taken them at least a full week. That is a monumental compression of the creative cycle.
So how's this even possible? Well, it's through a process of what's called iterative prompting. A designer doesn't just type one sentence and poof, a perfect result appears. No, they get into this rapid back-and-forth dialogue with the AI, refining the concept with every single prompt, exploring these futuristic aesthetics like you see in these incredible welding helmet designs.
And with each new prompt, the vision evolves. You can literally see how a different path of prompts, a different conversation, leads to a completely distinct design. This lets creators explore way more territory and push creative boundaries faster than ever before.
But let's be really clear about something. This is not a magic wand. The AI is an incredibly powerful instrument, but you still need a skilled musician to play it. Human expertise is absolutely essential for things like effective prompting, providing the right context and nuance, making sure the design has empathy, and, critically, making sure the final concept can actually be built in the real world.
Okay, so we've covered the 3 new rules: people before tech, ecosystems over vendors, and creativity supercharged. So where do you even begin? How do you actually put this new playbook into action?
Here are 4 concrete moves you can make right now. First, get a steering committee together with leaders from across the business. You need IT, legal, procurement, all at the same table. Second, create your own playbook to standardize how you evaluate partners. This keeps everyone on the same page. Third, audit your current alliances to find any gaps or redundancies. And finally, assign dedicated managers to oversee this ecosystem. This is not a side project. It needs focused ownership.
Look, this isn't some far-off futuristic trend. It is happening right now. The very foundations of competition, of value creation, of what it means to have an advantage in your industry, they're all being fundamentally rewritten. So the only question left is, are you ready to get in the game?